one fine like this one. Now you can see. It will give me about 20 fruits per harvest. And I can harvest 3 times in a year. When it comes to marketing this fruit, it's very easy. Like one fruit, I sell for 300. If you want per kilo, I'll sell for you at 700 shillings. Now you can do your maths. 300 per one, 700 per kilo. It's your choice. That's how much I get out of this.
Keep it farming with AIM Agriculture.
Guys, this is the real guy, eh? This is the real farmer. We are here in Thika. I told you, we always bring you the smart ideas. Smart ideas. You can imagine, think about this. Someone is growing some fruit somewhere in the desert. One fruit is 300 shillings. 1 kilo is 700 shillings. And is able to harvest like 30 fruits per stem or per stack and harvest thrice. So just do the math. No herbicides, no foliar feeds, no fertilizers. The thing is just organic. It's drought resistant, it's not rain-fed agriculture. And it's the most expensive fruit in the world. What are you waiting for? Just subscribe. You'll keep getting new content on our YouTube channel. You'll never miss out something new. And I'm here with the expert. We need to test this thing. Eh?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, just give me a small piece so that I can see.
Just pick one. Just pick one.
If I look at it, it looks like it's so tough. Eh?
Yeah.
But when you are cutting it, I saw it looks
It's
like
very
it's
soft.
so soft. Eh?
So soft.
So I can just reduce this again and see if indeed it's... Let me have a feel of it. Is it so sugary or?
Have a slight taste. Sugar. Small sugar, not that much.
It's time for the bite, eh? Man, what are you waiting for? Oh! Just subscribe.
Very sweet.
Subscribe. And subscribe. Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Nice show.
My name is Mary Wajikueshinga. I'm a farmer, and this farm is called Millys Dragon Fruit Farm. Yeah, I'm trying to cut this. Sometimes it's difficult, but I'll still try to cut it because I don't want to pluck it with my own hands because I will spoil the stem. I started farming this dragon fruit about 5 years ago. And by the grace of God, I didn't know about this fruit. This shaba used to plant maize, beans, and vegetables. But a sister of ours, who was working in Malaysia, came to visit us. She had 2 fruits of dragons. We didn't even know how they are called. She came with the 2 dragon fruits, and then she came with about 20 seedlings like this. And that is how we started. She showed us how to plant, and then we Googled also to get more information. And that is how we started. And now, here we are. This was our first plant. It was about 20 seedlings. And now, from here to that head, that is where we have been harvesting now all the other seedlings to plant here. And this one has given us a lot of money. I can say that. Because a seedling, just a cutting, if I may cut a seedling like this one, about a foot or so, I will sell for 200, this one. And I want as many farmers to have this fruit, because it is very, 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 very important. It will give you money, and it will also be very beneficial to your body. Now, after eating, after planting, we started to research about this dragon fruit. We went to so many supermarkets. Wow, you could not believe it. Because one dragon fruit was even selling at 500 shillings per kilo, 1,000 shillings. You couldn't believe it. So now we started nurturing our plants, because now we knew it is a potential plant. That is where we are now. We are harvesting our own now, our own dragon fruits. We are selling, and getting quite a good amount of money. And also, we are selling the seedlings. Interesting, this dragon fruit does not require a lot of water. Because even in Thika, we don't have a lot of water. This is cactus plant. So it needs a very little water or very little rain. That's how now you can see in Thika, as I said, we don't have a lot of water. But it is doing very, very well. As I told you, it is a very good fruit, selling expensively. And also, the cuttings you can get from us. We have so many. In this one pole, you can plant about 3 or 4 cuttings. You put one here, one here, one here, one there. And then as they grow up, just like this, now you can go on now supporting them to grow until they reach where now we have put these rings. So that now they start falling down like this. Now that is when now they start now giving us the fruits like this. Areas where you can plant this cactus is places like Ukabani, doing very well. In fact, one farmer came and took some seedlings. Within 8 months, she was getting her harvest in Ukabani. So in Garissa, they can do so well. The dry areas, this plant is doing very, very well. And we thank God for that He can give us a plant that can be grown even in dry areas and also yield very good results. We thank God for that. This, we say that first, this is a family of cactus. And these cactus are all over in the deserts and in those dry areas. They have no challenges, really, no challenges. You only have to make the place clean. Yeah, no challenges. No spraying, nothing. Yeah, but you put a lot of manure anyway when you are planting. This one, it is not affected by any pests at all. You only put manure, ng'ombe, abusi, only that. And it is all organic. It's all organic. There are a lot of benefits from this fruit. Countless. This dragon fruit, even when you are diabetic, you still eat it. This sugar is very, very nice. Constipation. You can never get constipation when you are eating dragon fruit. And by the way, for us ladies especially, if you want to be beautiful, if you want to grow age-free, eat this. It's very, very, very beneficial. Somebody also told me that they are even spraying them in their face to like mask, and it is coming up so well, so well. So it is very, very, very beneficial to us men, women, even small children, because it is very soft even for small children. I encourage you ladies, do this farming. If you have a piece of land, don't waste it with the sukuma wiki or potatoes. Plant this. Most expensive fruit in the whole world, and with very, very little labor. You do very, very little in the shamba where you plant this. And for our youth, this is the fruit. This is the seedling that you need to plant. Ask dad, ask mom to give you a piece of land and plant this seedling. It will take over 50 years. When you plant, it will go over 50 years. Still eating, still selling, still enjoying this fruit.
Hello and welcome. My name is Karega. I'm a dragon fruit expert. Let me just take you through about the process of you planting the dragon fruits. And if you're looking for a business to venture in, I urge members and I urge you as a farmer, if you're looking for something to start with, this is the business to do. You can imagine just one fruit, as you can see here behind me, one fruit just going for 300 shillings. And if you can see from here, I'm having several of them. So can you just do your math? Out of the one, can you multiply with the several you can see around here? You have quite a lot of money with you. So you're most welcome as I take you through the process of planting the dragon and for it to be where it is. And I want to thank Millys Dragon Fruit Farm Thika, because that's where we are right now, for hosting us for this episode. You're most welcome. Just imagine, this fruit does not require a lot of watering. No watering is being done here actually. No cultivation actually. Look around here. No cultivation that is required. Nothing. You just plant, just oversee it grow, just do the simple stuff that are required, and your work will just be harvesting. Just that. Simple. Millys Dragon Fruit Farm specializes in propagation of seedlings. And this way it all starts from. And it's good that for you as a viewer to know that what I'm having here originated from Malaysia. They came as 20 cuttings, as you can see here. And out of these 20 cuttings is what we have been able to propagate. Millys Dragon Fruit Farm has been able to propagate to be able to get all the seedlings you are seeing here, as well as the vines that you can see in the background of the shamba here. Now, for someone who wants to grow a dragon fruit, this way it all starts from a cutting. This one I've just pruned it from the shamba, from where I'm having already now the mature vines, and I'm having a cutting. If you happen to plant this one today, this one might take you, well, for it to be able to reach where these others are, this might take you around 6 months for it to be able to mature up and to be ready to be taken to the shamba. But, you know, eventually all of them, whether it's you are planting this one which is not yet propagated, or you are planting which one is already the one which is already propagated, eventually all of them will grow. The only variation is the time that is going to take to plant, the time that is going to take to mature. Well, the cuttings that I'm having here, they are available. They are available. And this one goes for just 250 shillings. 250 shillings. Remember, you're talking about a venture of a business whereby we are talking over the most expensive fruit in the world. People are looking for ways of making money. I don't need just to be a farmer, but I am looking for people who will come out to be smart farmers. This is the best venture to venture in. I'm having this one, which is a cutting, which I've just got directly from the vine, which goes for just 250 shillings. Now, what happens from the vine? From the cutting? Well, come along with me. I've talked about that I have this category, which is a cutting, and I have another one here, which has already, if you can be able to view it well from where you are, you can be able to realize that this one has already germinated, has already developed roots, unlike this one which have not yet developed. This one, for it to be where it is currently, this one has taken around 6 months. 6 months to be where it is. And this one goes for just only 400 shillings. The reason we are just selling them expensive because we have also taken time to nurture them. However, there are still other category here which I'm having along with me. It's not a must that you have to put it in this way, but you can also have the ones which are planted directed to the ground. And as you can see here, this one here, which have just been rooted directed to the sod, which has also originated from this one and has some roots, goes for just 300 shillings. Just 300 shillings. I've said and want to say it again that all this eventually will arrive to what you are looking for, and that is a dragon fruit, what you can be able to see there. Now, in planting this seedling or propagating it does not require a lot of work. You only just require to prepare your seed bed, as you can see here. If you have a piece of shamba like this one here, you don't just require to do a lot of work. Just prepare your yard well, normally. Just have some manure around with you, mix with the soil, and if you have the vines, like this one, this is what you plant on the ground. Now, a little bit maybe take you somehow a little bit back, something small about it. When you get the vines, when you get the stems or the cuttings from the vine, now you don't just plant immediately. You give them like 2 to 3 days. Well, now having understood the various categories of seedlings that we as Millys dragon fruits have, the choice is yours. You can choose to get the cutting, or you can choose to go with the one that is already rooted, or the one which is already bagged. But it's good for you to know, as the viewer, that the one which is already bagged here will take lesser time for it to be able to mature and use for you to start harvesting fruits. And chances of survival and chances of it reaching to the maturity, this one I can guarantee it is 100%. Unlike for the case whereby maybe you get the cutting immediately, but for this one, I have a guarantee for you that it will eventually reach to maturity. Welcome, follow me as I take you to the shamba and to educate you more on how we are going to plant your seedlings. Now, I want to take you through the procedure of planting a dragon fruit seedling. It is important for you as a viewer to know very well that this is a perennial crop. What I mean is that is a plant that is going to take you for over 50 years. So once you plant, your work will just be harvesting. So it will just be there. So adequate preparation are required before you plant. Now, dragon fruit seedlings grows in form of a vine because it's a climbing cactus to keep on growing, going up. And the more it is keep on growing and going up, it is not that sufficient itself to be able to support itself, and thus it will require an adequate support for it. So before even you think about planting it, you require some supporting structure to reinforce it. There are ways on how you can do it. You can either purpose to do a concrete structure, or you can either purpose to do a treated posts. The reason I'm emphasizing about the treated one, as I have spoken and said, it is a perennial crop, taking more years. So if you do a post that is not treated, probably it might be attacked by those ants that attack the post, and you might end up getting your plant has collapsed. So this is what happens. So this is your ground where you want to plant, and this is my structure. So you first of all prepare for you to plant, to put for you on the ground a structure. So I'm assuming this one here I've just put on the ground as my supporting structure. So this is what you need to know about the supporting structure, that it requires to be 1.5 meters high, and below the ground just go for 2 feet. Below the ground go for 2 feet. That one is adequate to support your seedling or your plant. So once you ensure that the structure is on the ground, I've said, well, down the ground go for 2 feet, up from the ground to the level of your structure should go for around 1.5 meters. Now, once you ensure that your structure is readily available, now you can go on to plant your seedlings. Now, how do we put our seedlings around the structure? Now, around the structure, we can plant 3 or 4. The reason for that is probably you have incurred a good cost in ensuring that you have the structure. A good example for the Millys dragon fruit farm seedling, they have done concrete. So this one has taken a good adequate time to ensure that this structure is available here. So if you plant just only one seedling, just to reinforce it, just to reinforce one seedling, it might be so expensive for you. So we encourage or I encourage as a dragon as an expert to plant 3 around the post. So you can have just one, you can just have one hole here, add another one here, add another one on the other side, add another one on the other side. So you have 4 of them, or you probably might have 3. Now after preparing your holes around the supportive structure, all you require next is have your manure with you, and then mix the soil with the manure. After mixing, get your cuttings ready or have your seedlings. I advise that it is important that you get the right seedlings. Get the ones that are already mature. Get the ones that you have a guarantee that once you plant it, you do rest work for it to be able to reach the maturity. And then on the side of your concrete, just on the side of the post, ensure that you have one seedling there. On the other side, you need to plant the other one. And on the other side, you plant another cutting. I've planted 3 for this case. Just to remind you that you can either do 4 or you can do 3, just to maximize the number of seedlings that will be around the post. So this is basically the starting point of you planting the seedlings. As spoken, and I want to say it again, that this is just a crabbing cactus. A good example, let's now come to the little one here. If you check around what you have here on this concrete post, for this case, the Millys dragon fruit farm, they have planted 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can understand because they have done a concrete one. This is very expensive. It is somehow a bit costly because you require to have the ballast with you, to have the sand, to have the cement, to have the the chuma with you here that are going to reinforce these seedlings. From the time you plant this seedling there, for it to be able to reach to the maturity level, for it to start bearing fruit like the way you can see here, this one will take you around 1.5 years. We are talking about 18 months from the time of planting to the time of now maturity to start harvesting fruits. But before that, need to note something about the structure that you have put here, is that as it is the crabbing cactus, I said it will not be able to support itself. It requires to be supported. So as more it is keep on growing, it grows in terms of stem. The vine grows in stems. As you can see here, it started with this one, then gotten a stem here, gotten another stem here, and it has continued in branches. Now, I had talked about putting the structure for around 1.5 meters. The reason is, it is something that will keep on crabbing to infinity if you don't tame it. But you need to tame it here. At this level of 1.5 meters, it needs to fall on the sides to form a canopy. And for it to be able to form a canopy, you require to create a ring around from the post that is around 2 feet. From the post, 2 feet. From the post. Create a ring here. For Millys, they have done the metallic one, but it's not a must that you do the metallic one. You can just have a wooden one here, a wood here that is crossing over like a cross, and then use the tires. They use tires of motorbikes. They are very good in that work. And then just tie them around. What will happen here is ensure that they are passing below the tires so that they can start forming like a canopy on the sides. As you can see from there. When it reaches to this level, as you can see, this one it starts giving out the fruits. This is around 1.5 years. For the case here of Millys here, this one, these are around 1 year, around 4 months for this case. But now to be on the mature level, they take you around 1.5 years. Well, where do we plant these seedlings actually? Because I know people probably where you are asking yourself, where do I need to plant these seedlings? It is important for you to know that they do well in dry areas. Dry areas, they do very well. And areas with less water, they just require a little bit of moisture, not watering a lot, because as you said at the beginning, is that this is a desert plant. It can survive anywhere, which means the amount of water that you're going to use to ensure that it reaches where it is, very little. Probably the most important water that you require to watering to do is when you have just planted your seedling. Very important for it to help it to boost. You know, probably you're planting when it is very hot. That water is very important for it because it will moisten the soil for it to be able to come up. So, if you're in areas which are dry areas, Ukambani, talking about Garissa, talking about Isiolo, Marsabit, those areas, you know, sometimes get amazed that we have very big land masses there, which are just idle, doing nothing. And you're looking for a plant to plant there, come for dragon. Come for dragon seedlings. They do much well there.
Keep it farming with AIM Agriculture.
These are the fruits I have harvested this morning. See how big they are. You can't miss small ones, but they are so big, so sweet. Welcome, welcome to my Millys dragon fruit farm. Karibu, karibu. Now this is my dragon fruit farm. As I said, it is called Millys dragon fruit farm. Once again, let me tell you, it is in Thika, in an estate called Riverside Estate. This fruit, we started growing it just like a joke. Our sister brought us some seedlings, about 20 like this, 20 of them. And then she came with a fruit, two fruits like this one. She talked about it and she told us it is called dragon fruit. She had just come from Malaysia. So when we ate the fruit, and we got so interested in it because it was very sweet. We hadn't tasted it at all. And then now she has brought us some seedlings. We just came and put these seedlings here. There were 20 seedlings. So we cut them in small pieces, and then we could we got this, all of this, from here to that place. You can see to that place. And now from here, this is about 5 years ago, we have gotten a lot of other seedlings now. From here, seedlings from here, now we have planted all this now, what you can see here. When we were planting this, because we didn't know a lot about it, we brought them so close to each other. And that is why you can see they are very, very close to each other. But now when we came to this, we had already now learned how to plant. Now you can see the distance between one pole and the other. All along now you can see it is very clear. It is not like this one. But even if, when it is like this one, still it has given us a lot of fruits and a lot of seedlings. And for your information, even if you have this big space, you can plant vegetables here. Like here, I have now started planting sweet potatoes. Here I have sweet potatoes. Here I have beans. So there is no waste of the shamba. That is the benefit of it all. The tree will, the seedlings will grow up, and here down I will do my vegetables. What you cannot plant is only maize. These are very fresh cuttings. So we wait for them now to give roots. But they have already started the shooting. You can see now they have started shooting. Now you can see the very ready seedlings. Now these ones now are ready.